We saw some really intense baseball IQ tonight in the ALCS. But before we get into that, let's do a quick rundown of what happened in the ALCS, and then Brad's going to pull up the video for us. So the first thing is Game 1 is over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. Thank you. Carlos Rodon, whom I struggle to trust most of the time, went 6 innings pitched, 1 run, 3 hits, somehow 9 Ks. It was 9 strikeouts. And he did give up 1 home run. Yankee homers Soto and Stanton. I don't know what else you could have expected. Well, I know what you could have expected, but you'd have been wrong. Because Judge is still going through it. At this point, you can't
expect it, though.
He's 0 for 2. He had a walk and a sac fly. Thank goodness for him usually not expanding the strike zone in the postseason, because we need his on base to still climb. That's how he's contributing offensively right now. Still terrific defensively. So, now, oh man, you ready? The Yankees had 8 left on base, and they were 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. And they still won the game. Now, I don't know if that's because Cleveland played that poorly, or if New York's pitching just was that good, which it was, or, like, if the Yankees scored, I don't know, 20% of the runners they leave on base, they would blow people out of the water.
It's true.
Games would almost never be close. It would be a bulldozer.
It's true. It would 10%. They probably would have won 10 more games at least.
Yeah, 10%, 10 games. I can see that, but 20%, forget about it. That's not even. It's not even fair with the amount of runners they leave on base. Okay. Cleveland's baseball club, on the other hand, they did get a home run. They had 5 left on base. But they were able to go 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Game 2 is tonight, October 15th, 7:38 Eastern. That'll be on TBS. I'm going to yawn because, well, it's late. And
I was going to say, just talking about tomorrow's game is already making you tired.
Yeah.
Come down from tonight's game. So,
yeah, exactly.
There was an interesting play in the 8th inning. So we talk about high IQ plays. This is one right here. I believe this is Ryan Rocchio again up, and he shoots a ball to the right side. Here we go. Let's look at it. So he shoots the ball to the right side, gets past Anthony Rizzo. And then who was playing second? That's Gleyber Torres.
Gleyber,
right?
Yeah.
Throws to first. Row. Obstruction.
Well, he runs into Tim Hill, and the fan base was like, yay, we got the out. But no, there it is right there. Base runner runs into Tim Hill. Pitcher over there covering the bag. Base runner comes back over.
This is the thing I want to look at right here. I'm going to go back. Right there. Tim Hill is standing in the wrong spot. Right there. He shouldn't be standing in front of the bag. He needs to be about 2 steps in toward the cut of the grass. He should not be standing on the bag right there, because this is the thing I tell little leaguers, the kids my son's age, all the time. Like, well, what if you're standing? I'm always like, get on the base, get to the base. Well, they're standing on it. I don't care. That's yours. That's your base.
Right.
And so Tim Hill needs to understand that that's not his base. That's the runner's base. Get out of the way, or you're going to be called for obstruction, because he had no intention of going to second base. There was no way. With the ball right there, especially that shallow, he's not going to second base. So all he has to do is make an attempt at second base, bump into Tim Hill, and boom, there it is right there. Because it wasn't even when he came back to the bag. Like, yeah, you could have called him blocking the bag if you wanted to. Maybe, but probably not. But no, it was when he made that fake attempt at second base was when they called obstruction on Tim Hill. And that's a brilliant play. every time. Every time. If you're if you're running around first base and you see the pitcher or anybody standing right there, you don't need to mow them over, but bump into them and make it look like you're trying to get to second base because you're gonna be safe no matter what. You're gonna get the bag.
Yep. Yep. And in this case, he was able to advance to second base on the obstruction call. They didn't even have to review it. It's non-reviewable play, so that wasn't an issue. But
Well, it's pretty
they
obvious.
They did award him second base because he was smarter than everybody else.
That's right. Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. It didn't help that Anthony Rizzo's fingers are busted, and what would otherwise have been fairly routine play for the guy was not.
I don't know. That ball was hit pretty sharp.
Yeah, but
pretty hard hit ball. I don't know if he'd have been able to.
Capable first baseman.
He is. I'll give him that. He is. He definitely is. But I don't know if busted fingers or not is going to make much of a difference on that play, because it kind of hit the end of his glove, like he was able to get it down, but wasn't quite able to get to it. And I think that would have been the same either way.
See, and I saw hesitancy.
I don't think it would. I don't think fingers affected his ability to react or squeeze the ball. I think it still would have hit off the end of his glove.
Maybe. When you're playing hurt, though, you hesitate even just a little bit, and that was a
you and I do, but we're not Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah. Speaking of which, let's be clear: the two toughest guys in the playoffs right now are Frederick and Anthony. Okay, Freddie Freeman and Anthony Rizzo, they're always have a terrific banter between one another. They're the toughest guys in the playoffs right now. They are both playing completely busted up. They have no business being out there. And I saw something online today that said if was it San Diego or was it the Mets? I think somebody said if Freddie was on his deathbed and somebody told him that the Mets were up by 1 run and they needed him to pinch hit, that he would drag himself to the plate and drive one into the gap. That he would pinch hit from his deathbed.
And part of that is that he owns the Mets in the playoffs. But yeah. I mean, he would.
He would, though.
So I thought this was really cool because I've seen some stuff from Will Smith this year that has kind of lowered my opinion of him. Right, like he had an exchange with Dave Roberts at one point. There was kind of the joking thing about him throwing trash on the field in front of Ohtani, and Ohtani not really liking it, right?
Yeah, right.
But there's that and some other stuff with Will Smith this year that kind of. But this I really liked. I saw a clip where he went out to talk to the pitcher. He called everybody in the infield in, but told Freddie Freeman to stay at first base, because he had just made a really great play, something that was really hard on his bum ankle. So they're giving him some time to kind of recover from that play, so he's ready to go for the next one. I thought that was another high IQ play, really outstanding awareness of Will Smith to give his guy a chance to recover. And I think, part of that comes as a catcher because you have a mutual respect with the umpire. You give the umpire a minute when he takes a foul ball off the mask. The umpire gives you a minute, to kind of shake out the stars and everything.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things I think as a catcher, Will Smith had the awareness that, like, let's give him a minute like I would the umpire. And I thought that was awesome. So great. Such great leadership from him.
I agree. Speaking of the NLCS and Freddie Freeman, his swing, the follow through on his swing looks totally different because he's hobbling, and it's really the fact that he's still able to put the bat on the ball and get it around, but he kind of hops. It's very interesting. It's a very different look from Freddie Frederick.